everyone, this is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Bradley Ellis.
Hello.
Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
And Brandon Jones.
Woohoo!
This is a special version of the Easy Allies podcast. Love and respect only.
It's early, it's sunny.
It's sunny day. It's weird. Different vibes for sure.
It's freaking me out.
No bets, no corrections. We're just going to do love and respect the whole time.
I miss that fatigue, you know? I don't really feel prepared for these Allies podcasts unless I'm extremely tired and know I won't sleep again for another 4 hours at
You
least.
have too much energy. Is what I'm
Too
saying.
much.
Okay, let's burn it off. Let's start off with a little love and respect.
Love and respect.
Okay. Oh, so many. We got some serious conversations to have.
my
I'm pretty
goodness.
excited about the submissions that we have for this podcast. Let's just begin. Hey, allies. My question to the panel is regarding power. Specifically, the current race between Sony and Microsoft to have the most powerful console in the universe. Does it even matter? Sure. Horizon Zero Dawn looks gorgeous on PS4 Pro, and Phil Spencer keeps talking about how great games will look on Scorpio. But what about Nintendo? Breath of the Wild runs at 720p, and no one cares. It is sure, and I mean 900. We can do a correction already. 900p on when it's docked, and no one cares. It has set the industry on fire, and surprisingly, I've seen no one complaining about the resolution. Using games like Rise, Son of Rome, and The Order 1886 as examples, do some companies focus too much on how a game runs and looks instead of focusing on compelling gameplay, love, and respect?
Can I
Adam.
just go back to Zelda real quick?
Go back to Zelda real quick.
The power big time matters on Zelda because it runs bad.
One of the
at a
best
lot
reviewed
spots.
games of all time,
yeah,
Brad.
but it runs bad and it would do better if it ran better.
It would be a better
Yeah.
reviewed game if it ran better.
Yeah,
It would have that 98 on Metacritic.
it would certainly probably got a high review from us.
Sure.
Yeah, like if you have more power, you can have more of a vision also. Like gameplay, you can expand upon it.
Damiani, let's address that right now, actually.
Okay.
Is that half star only disappearing because of performance? Because
No.
of...
People seem to just keep reading about my dungeon complaint, but that's
right.
cool.
So you have...
There-
there are other parts of the game that you...
Yeah,
Sure.
there are other issues with the game. It wasn't just the frame rate, but I'm not going to deny that Brad is correct that if the system was a little bit more powerful, it would run more smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
People would... It's already getting amazing praise, yes. It's just a little bit more icing on top if they had just nailed that performance. And the fact that it is only running at 900p and 720p undocked, but the problems are when it's docked 900p and it's still having those issues with the frame rate. I don't know. It seems like Nintendo, if the Switch was a little bit more powerful, it was 1080 and it ran at a locked 30 frames pretty smoothly most of the time. People would be like, you'd see like more flawless.
Nintendo doesn't care. They're selling out.
No, they don't.
right
They
now.
don't. No, I
They're
get it,
selling
and I
out.
don't. And you don't.
Are Sony and Microsoft in the wrong race right now?
So
No.
let's not forget how amazing Zelda is as a game, though. And I think that was part of like the question, like, should they be focusing on this arms race, or should they be looking internally at their software and being, hey, who cares if we have this super powerful system? The software isn't good enough, even if it's making use of it. If it's not compelling software, who cares how good it looks? And I take that stance. I don't care how good your game looks. If it's not good, if it's not fun to play, if it's not like a quality game, whoop-de-doo. Here's your 10 in your presentation category, but enjoy your like low marks and everything else. But at the same time, I also realize some people want that visual fidelity, not just consumers, but like the creators, the authors of some of these like visions want that ability to tell stories or they create these experiences and craft them with that in mind. And I think like people like Rockstar, look at their open worlds, they would settle for nothing less. Like they want that fidelity in those games. They would not stand for what Switch has to offer right now. I don't think they would be very pleased. We're gonna put all this effort into this game and it's only gonna run like this. They want some assurance that these games are gonna look good when we're making them on your system. And there are just some developers who that's part of their that's part of their mantra. That's part of who they are.
Jones, is that foolish? Should Rockstar stop caring about how it looks because of the success of Zelda?
No, because they've built their pedigree on those looks. on the fact that, look at what we did. Look at the distance that exists between Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the same console. We did one city and then we did 3. Like, that's crazy that they were able to do that. And I think they were showing off, and in a way, as a fan at the time, I was expecting that. Like, I definitely wanted that to meet a certain qualification of how it looks, and I think that's like the big difference is those expectations. Like, we know Nintendo took forever to go HD. There was really, I think, only a handful of games that looked absolutely gorgeous. Your Tropical Freeze, your Mario Kart 8, that really showed what the Wii U can
Captain
do.
Toad.
But like Captain Toad, like, it wasn't something that an upcoming Wii U game had to have. Like, there was no, I didn't see a lot of reviews of Nintendo games on that system that they were like, this game doesn't look like Call of Duty. What the hell? It's just like, okay, we can kind of set the bar of what we expect a game like this to look like. And we saw Zelda coming up to it. Like, we knew like the art style that they had. We kind of questioned, okay, this is gonna be on a handheld. I'm not sure how well that's gonna run. Where you have Guerrilla, who had like one of the launch titles on the PlayStation 4, Killzone Shadowfall, that looked incredible. That is having this game coming, their next sequel, brand new IP that's launching right alongside the PlayStation 4 Pro, is being like heavily advertised as making the most of that system. Like, of course, we're expecting that game to look great. But
So yeah, I do feel that way. I feel that you shouldn't take Zelda as proof, right? It's not. This proves that power doesn't matter because it did so well. Obviously, it did do well despite its performance, but I do think a game like Horizon, if that was 900p, if that just froze when an enemy dies, it would get hit hard for that.
because they'd be going backwards.
Right.
Like, wait a minute, that's not the direction I thought you were going in. And Wind Waker just kind of changed my whole, rearranged my whole concept of like how a Zelda game should look. Because I hated the design and then went into it and was like, wait, no, full stop. I love this. Like, this is amazing. I've never seen a more expressive character in a game than, I have since, but at the time, like,
Who's more
having
expressive? Who's more expressive than Toon Link?
Aloy, like,
Sure,
the
okay,
complexities of her face, it's like,
Yeah,
but I mean,
I hear you, actually, I hear you.
like, actually seeing, being like, his eyes are so huge, why'd you make his eyes so big? And then it's like, even at a distance, I'm noticing Link is looking at things, and if he sees a puzzle, what is that, and if I'm moving the stick when he's like, sliding along a wall, he moves his eyes in the direction that he's moving, and yeah, it doesn't matter how detailed that texture is, that's incredible. Like, you achieved what you set out to do.
So
And what a lot of these developers set out to do is to make a bleeding edge graphics game.
yeah, Brad, do you think that it truly is two separate audiences who are buying these games, buying a Switch as opposed to buying a PS4 Pro or a Scorpio?
No, us. We bought both. I don't think it's two separate audiences. Some might buy one console,
But
but there's a lot of people in between.
Nintendo got off doing it cheaper. They said, "Oh, we actually don't need to make a big, powerful console. This is way cheaper. People don't care about graphics."
Yeah, but their whole thing was with the portability of it. That was the whole selling point of it. Like, if you just released it again without it, it's just a Wii U again. Same thing.
So that I think that is a good point in that I think we also excuse some Switch deficiencies in that it's portable as well. If the Switch was a hard console you plugged in your TV and and Zelda performed as it does now, I honestly think it would be hit harder in reviews.
Yeah, it would
at the
have.
same
Definitely.
time.
It would have, yeah.
I think it got a little portable bump, to be honest.
And it's
with
new
you.
hardware. People are hyped on it, It's the honeymoon phase right now.
Yeah. The honeymoon phase. So yeah, I do. I think the premise of the letter is kind of flawed. I think there's a truth to it. I think Nintendo made the right call with Zelda to put it at, like, how can you tell them they did it wrong?
Yeah.
How can you?
That's the
after
hard thing about
success they
Nintendo.
had-
It's a position I'm always in with
Yeah.
Nintendo. I'll gripe for an extended amount of time, and then realize at the end it's like I just should write that down on a piece of paper, crumple it up, and throw it in the trash because it doesn't matter.
They're laughing on their money.
Yeah.
They're counting their fat stacks and saying, "Well, okay, cool that you care about frame rate and resolution."
They sure weren't laughing about the Wii U, though.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, the Switch worked.
But graphics were not the issue with the Wii U. It was supporting of that system and
Yeah.
all their weird online
Until that people did
virtual
third-party games
console
on
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah, I still wouldn't say graphics was a problem with it. I do think the Wii U had
Everything probably looked like Watch Dogs on that thing. Not good.
performed poorly, absolutely. But I would count that as problem 15 of the Wii U. I honestly think
Lock it in, number 15.
Number 15, the graphical performance. Okay, let's do a fun one. That's not. We'll save that one.
That's not fun.
Yeah, exactly. That is what went
That's
through my
very
mind.
much not fun, that one right there.
Actually, no, we're doing topical. We're staying topical. Here we go. Because I don't get to talk about news this week, we're going to handle this question. Hello, allies. I would like to have the panel talk about the Mass Effect Andromeda animation problem. Specifically, the fan backlash that has been going on social media. Threats and other things have been done to people that have or are working for EA. What has changed so much that fans have become so vile over these years? I am 1 year younger than Brandon and seen gaming turn into something that is today, and seen gaming turning into what it is today. But over these past few years, this is happening more and more, and I don't understand why. Love and respect, Fetui. So I think there's two things here.
Yeah.
Wait, let's go ahead, Damiani.
You say your thing, but I'll answer.
Okay, because
I don't want to cut you off.
the way I think this is complicated is that the Mass Effect animations are bad.
Some of them.
Yes,
Some of the faces in Mass Effect are not good.
and some of the animations are bad. Right. And so it's kind of part of that is we have to be on that side and say, oh yeah, those things are bad. However, the reactions is what the question's about.
Yeah, that's the part. Specifically about the part that they say from their perspective, it's been happening more and more over the past few years. I think I want to speak to that in saying that I really feel that as more people have joined the quote unquote gamer club, as we've gotten more diverse, as we've tried to do more diverse representation, because 50% of gamers are female now. Like, it's not a boys club anymore. That was like the perception, like in the early days of gaming, it was mostly for like guys. Like mostly guys played game. That was the perception. That was what all the marketing was for.
Sure.
So the fact that the audience has expanded and there's more people like that are being recognized now and have a voice with social media to speak up about, hey, this game doesn't speak to me. I think that's why you're seeing more of it in the last few years. It's because people finally have a voice to express their concerns over representation in these games. And that, I feel like this has always been a problem, but it just wasn't very prevalent because it was an echo chamber for the longest time. Because most of the cycle with games and the communities around it were mostly just guys talking about the games and getting the games that appealed to mostly just guys. And that's how it was. And I think the reason there's so much toxicity now is they're just horrible people out there who, just now they think they can say whatever they want and stuff. But I think it's because
Horrible people didn't exist before?
No, they always did. They always did. But they didn't have people coming at them saying like, hey, you really should, I want to see better representation of women in these games. I want to see better representation of minorities in these games. Hey, can we have some, non-straight white guys being represented in these games? And as those are being represented more in games, I feel like some people feel threatened that, oh, they're going to take away the games I like and stuff to make these other types of games. And I'm just trying to explain where I feel some of these people are coming from.
Sure.
For this anger and toxicity.
Yeah, we have to travel to the anime.
Are people complaining about animations or that?
No, these are people who are complaining about the reason why there are bad animations in Mass Effect. They are attributing it to a single person who they're saying was the lead animator of the game. This woman who worked on the game. BioWare came out and said actually that what you guys are accusing this of isn't actually true. You guys have the wrong information. Please stop this hateful campaign against this person. Even if they were the person who, just because they're a woman and and you perceive they did a bad job, stop coming after them with such vile personal attacks. Like, it's okay to criticize the animation. If you don't like the animation in the game, criticize the animation. But as soon as they found out, like, oh, they're a cosplayer, they're a girl, blah, blah, they start going after those facts about, they start caring about the personal details of that person who worked on the game rather than the work.
Right.
Like, you got to stay like neutral with that and criticize just the work. And it went way beyond that. And this isn't the first instance that this has happened, but it's the latest instance.
Yeah,
and
that happens with everything.
Yeah.
Anyone who gets attacked will get attacked on a personal level also, no matter what. No matter who you are, what creed or way of life you live, you will get attacked on a personal level.
But I feel like in this instance, because the person who's being attacked is a woman, they're getting a lot more extreme toxicity. Like, we get the most I ever see for some of us is they'll be like, I don't trust you, or I don't agree with your opinions. No one's ever come out and said no one's, to our knowledge, no one's come out and given us death threats. No one has said that they're gonna threaten us with violence, that they're gonna hurt.
We're a lot smaller than these people.
Well, I think what's fair is an animator, someone who worked on animation on a game, rarely has to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's
a particular, like Damiani said, that's a particular attack. Yeah. It's fun to say EA, you did a bad job on this. It's fun to say BioWare Montreal.
But that's the huge difference. And we're actually in a really interesting position because it's we have connections in the industry, and that's great. We get an advance on games sent to us. We get to interview a lot of amazing people at events. But even with those connections, when we produce a review or we talk about a topic on the podcast, we don't know if they're going to hear that. Vandenberg's probably going to hear something Huber says about For Honor. But most of the time when we say something, we don't know if that's going to land. We're just kind of throwing it out there. And this thing has happened with the culture in gaming now. We're like, that's not good enough. I can't just complain at EA and say, bad job, do better. I got to find who's responsible. I got to make that person feel terrible. And I need to have physical evidence that they feel terrible. Mm-hmm. I need that reaction. So it sucks that BioWare, was it BioWare or EA? I think it was BioWare that actually made a statement where this isn't cool. Back away from this person. You are so hilariously off on what you think. I think it was that person didn't even work on the game. They were just at the mocap studio. So that person probably worked on Mass Effect for a day, and then here so many months later, it's wait, what am I being accused of? And because they just got so they get that notice from BioWare, and that while I believe it is a responsibility of BioWare to do that, to support their employees or people that they work with, I'm very proud of them for doing that. That's exactly what those people wanted. They got that letter from BioWare and were like, oh, wow, look at that. Yeah. Look at what BioWare had to do because I told this lady that she probably slept with somebody to get her job. It's just so it's tough. It's a tough thing to do away with because it just feeds into that. All I can do is just because you don't want to point your finger at those people and be like, you're being mean, stop. It's that's not going to work. Right. All I can think of is that look at us and look at the position that we're in, and even us, even we can't expect people to listen to us. So it's just I don't know, I'm okay being in that spot. I guess some people aren't though.
What do you mean you're okay being in that spot?
Understanding that most of the things I say are not going to be heard by the people I want. It's not going to make an impact. I'd like to think that I can be like, Rockstar, do that, and that they'll listen to this podcast and get that message. But they might not. I don't know. More than anything, we are speaking to our community and creating the conversation there. But it's I don't need somebody that, if there's a game that sucked, I don't need that developer to be like, I don't need to see them cry.
What you're saying, Jones, it's the weird alternate effect of this weird internet era we live in where we can have an impact on anybody. You have access to anybody, and you can send messages to them, and they will see those messages. That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's very, very crazy. Mm-hmm. And that can be positive, but as you're saying, that can be negative as well.
Yeah, it was so easy for them to track down the person based on their name, because they just go to the social media, their LinkedIn profile. Mid-2000s to any time since the dawn of gaming, you couldn't do that. Right. That information wasn't available. So the ease of getting that information, I think, has fueled people's ability to feed into this toxicity when they want to. I think that's where I would
refute your original point, Damiani. I think it's the era we live in.
That is the era we live in.
I almost feel like the tech is just there.
I guess I didn't want to talk for 10 hours, but it's a combination of a lot of things.
Sure.
The tech helps there. I also think the culture of gaming has just changed so much since 30 years, 40 years it's been around.
But I actually want to believe the culture of gaming is improving. Is that inaccurate?
I mean, I don't know. There are people who are trying to improve it, obviously. I think there are people who are trying to be the better person out there. But at the same time, you have stuff like this happens. And then you wonder why outsiders look at gaming and be like, oh, it's still a juvenile thing. Because look at them. They're going attacking this poor person here just because they're a woman. Who can take games seriously? That's how people still see this industry sometimes, because we still have crap like that happening. So
the movie industry has stuff like that. You wear a dress on the red carpet no one likes and you get torn apart for it. I mean, people are just dicks out there, dude. That's just the way it is.
But there should be. I mean, as a fan of BioWare, if you do not take that stance, I think I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to call it a responsibility, but get in there and reply to these people and defend these people. You're do the research yourself. Kudos to that first person that actually did their homework and was wait, who is this person they're attacking? Wait, what is their job? What did they do? Okay, all of you are wrong.
Sure.
And just get that information out as fast as you can, because that I think it's just a yelling match, and whoever's loudest wins. And
I
so you
guess-
just got to yell real loud in support.
I guess the problem I have with that, Jones, is let's say that person did work on it. That's like excusing it at a certain point, right? Like it
if you're
did turn out that person didn't work on the animations for the game and isn't solely responsible.
Right.
However, let's say that she was, right? And let's say that she did do all those animations. Then it's like, okay, now go off on that person. And I really think it's the individualized attack.
Yeah.
Nobody is individually responsible for all the
Yeah, that's the thing.
stupid
Like,
things about
go
Mass
go
Effect
after the
Andromeda.
company. Like,
Yeah.
you direct your criticism at the company, like we
Yeah.
do in our reviews. I don't in my review I'm gonna look up the animators. Like,
Yeah.
so and so, so and so, and so and so. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Right.
just like trying to be professional. Like, I'm just ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourselves for this poor effort. We call out the publisher and the developer. We don't call out individuals like that.
Yeah.
The only time we do is like when it's in an interview. It's something very specific, laser focused. That's the only time it invites, I think, that level of criticism. But when you're talking about a game and stuff, like, this would have been fine if it was people just going after EA BioWare saying, hey, Mass Effect's animations aren't that great in some instances. What happened here? And the jokes about the videos going around, that would have been fine at that level.
Yeah.
It's just when you get to personal attacks and stuff, just
Too
chill.
far, man.
Just chill.
Yeah.
Like,
Far.
just calm down. Seriously.
Yeah.
You're not making an astute gaming criticism.
Sure.
Noticing the animations in Mass Effect is not brain surgery. You know, like that's not like,
Here's the
whoa,
thing.
I got a hot take. I got a hatake here for Mass Effect, something you might not know. That person looks weird. It's like, congratulations.
So I do let's talk about that for a second, because I might argue that it's fun to make those videos that make fun of the Mass Effect animations.
Making a video, sure.
And it's fun to watch them. And
Is that work? I respect that.
we come from love and respect, but it's so fun to hate sometimes. And so when you see these stupid things appearing in Mass Effect, these stupid faces, I sympathize with the one element of it's fun to make fun of this. And that's the weird thing that I think
I got
makes
hate
this
for you.
complicated.
You want hate? I'll give
What?
you some hate.
What?
Disney pissed me off last year, man.
Sure.
Like one decision after
yeah.
another. I was like angry. I would
Yeah.
yell at people if I could find them, but like I would never call them out by name because I don't. Because like
you
Wait, hold
yell
on.
at-
You just said you'd yell at them if you could find them. I would yell at them in person, off camera, to their face,
Don't do
not
that.
recorded.
Don't do that.
Don't yell at him.
We just said don't ever blame the individual, Jones.
I'm talking about somebody I would actually get a chance to go meet. Like I would actually like there might be a possibility that like I would know a person who knows a person to like get in a room and be like, hey, you have to answer that. I
Unless
need
it's
an
Bob
answer on
Iger,
this.
I won't allow it. I don't know who you want to yell at, Jones.
Well, let's say invite you in and like vent your frustrations. Like,
Right.
that's okay. But yeah.
But I would never direct that. I would never be like, come internet, let's all hop on our horses and gallop towards that person's house and burn it down. Like that, I just don't see anything. And to me, it's kind of this catch-22 where it's like, I'm so passionate about games. I love Mass Effect so much. I'm so upset that the animation looks poor that I'm going to do a completely unconstructive argument towards the company that's going to just make everything worse. I'm going to make the whole developer feel bad, thus guaranteeing that the next Mass Effect is going to be mired in controversy. I'm going to, like, do a criticism that no one's actually going to take seriously, or it's not going to have any productive. So it's weird. It's like you clearly just want to watch the world burn, but you're commenting on something that you're really passionate about. Just the two things seem at odds with each other. It doesn't make sense to me.
Part of loving video games is also loving like your feeling when they are disappointing, and I don't think it's wrong to laugh at those videos. I do think poor Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be tarnished by those videos where there's laugh tracks to goofy animations. Why do you shrug, Damiani?
I mean, I just don't see that. Is just, I feel that's like part of like the culture. Like of gaming, like that is just how it's gonna be. If you can't accept that something silly like that's gonna happen, then I just don't see a problem with the videos themselves. Like if anyone is saying like, man, people shouldn't be making those mean videos about the Mass Effect animations and turning them into a joke. Why? Like this is what, and you're talking about this ain't age of technology. This is what happens. Like. Everyone's aspiring to make the next stupid meme and stuff like that. Who can be like the funniest out there?
And
This is just what the culture demands and stuff. And if you don't like it, then try and do something about it to change it. But this is what it is right now, and you should not be surprised to see stuff like that happening because that's what we've let it become. So I don't really know what people expected
And
at that
you could
point.
actually turn that around. Like BioWare in a weird way could kind of embrace that and be like, yeah, it's a new gen. What are you gonna do? But this other part of the game is cool. Or like, there's something you could do, like the Sonic the Hedgehog account. If something like this was leveraged at Sonic,
Yeah.
Yes.
that account would fight back.
You're right.
You know,
Sonic
like
could handle it.
whoever is on that Twitter account, whoever is managing Arby's, like all these weird accounts that pop up, we're just like, whoa, that something's going on there. Someone is paying attention.
All right, so let's do it.
As opposed to just Bioware being like,
Let's wrap up this conversation talking
never say
about
the word face at a press conference. Like,
what BioWare can do. Brad, what can BioWare do right now?
What Bioware can do?
Right, there's people making fun of this game already. Mass Effect Andromeda, which should be one of the biggest releases of the year, worked on this thing for years. How do you right the ship? How do you get good attention?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't make a big deal about it if I was them. Like this whole response thing. I get it and everything like that, but I would just try to hope it goes over kind of thing.
Wait, are you saying
gets
they
out of
shouldn't
control.
have done that response?
I
You're
mean, I
saying-
don't know what they should do.
You're all
It's like they're
targeting
already
everybody?
in the fight now.
Yeah.
We're always
I mean,
in the fight.
obviously you should
Once you
stick
release
with-
a game, you're fighting.
Yeah, I mean,
every
you should
day.
stay with your employees. I don't know, but like giving the middle finger to everybody, I don't know if that'll really help.
No.
Right. I don't think middle finger is the option. First of all, I do think they made the right call in saying going out, particularly against attacking that one person. And so I think on the same end, they should do something lighthearted and silly about the criticisms about the animation.
What if there's a line in the first DLC
Yeah.
that comes out for Mass Effect where somebody goes up to Ryder and is like, your face is weird. And they're like, oh yeah, well your face is weird. Just like one little
Yes.
line.
Yeah.
That like that fan that's like, oh, I'm still going to play this, but God, your faces look weird. And all of a sudden, oh, that was funny, Bioware. Oh, you're okay.
Right.
Okay, now we're on the same page. Like now we're actually, now it's not just like you're on the tower and I'm lower and I'm slinging arrows at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're actually kind of having a conversation. Like now there's a give and take.
I'll tell you a commercial I love big time is it was for Tiger Woods. And it was making fun of the dumb glitch where Tiger Woods can walk across water. And it showed like the EA guys behind the scenes as they're trying to design the game. And they're just like watching, they're like mocapping him walk across water. That's so fun.
I remember reading playing Fable 2, and there was a note I found that said that the guy from the first game that's like, your mana is low. Like, he would say that in Fable, like, every time your mana's low. That, like, he was found dead in his office, like, where like, that was written in blood on the wall. And it's like, whoa.
Oh, later on.
So it's
I know later.
Lionhead knowing,
Sure.
like, that was a major criticism leveraged to the first Fable. Let's
Yeah.
put a joke in the sequel where we got it. We know. That was a mistake.
Cool.
Because you can't make a perfect game. Something's going to go wrong.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's
gotta
a
be something-
miracle.
we
It's a
didn't think
miracle
people
when
would
things
care.
work out.
It's like BioWare probably knew before these faces we got to
Yeah.
release the game. Nintendo was the same situation. Guys, frame rate, and like Nintendo lucked out. BioWare didn't. And
Well,
so,
I mean, realistically, it was probably BioWare said, "Please, EA, more time," and EA said, "No more time. No more time."
But
Yeah, that's probably
but
what
again,
happened.
I don't know if this is gonna fall on deaf ears, but there's no way ever to know who's responsible for anything in game
right.
development.
It's never one individual person. Most
Yeah.
often, never one individual.
We've been
person.
in we've been at this for so long. None of us have any idea how games are made. Really,
Just try to be
the
a good
day to
person.
day to day in a company like that.
Yeah, just try to be a good person.
Just try to be a good person.
But if you're laughing at some meme video, don't feel bad.
I mean, yeah, you could have
A
fun.
meme video?
Just don't
Do
be
it,
really
yeah.
Meme video
Don't
is
be
fine.
malicious.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't actively try to hurt people's feelings.
It's
Meme
possible to make
videos bad. Meme videos.
Yeah, it's possible to make fun of Mass Effect without being malicious. It totally
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, like death threats, anything like that is not cool.
Brad takes a strong stance against death threats.
I do. Come
Here
on,
we
man.
go. Jones, I'm having a fun podcast. This is a Jones one.
I'll fix that.
Greetings from France, allies.
Greetings.
I have been a huge fan of GT for a long time. A fan of your shows, including top 100 trailers of all time.
Yeah.
It's almost
Oh,
6
baby.
years since you made it. And here's
Yeah.
my question. How do you consider the top 10 of the list would change in the past 6 years? Just the top 10. I will not be asking you to consider the entire list.
Overwatch.
Are there trailers that left a huge impression to enter the top 10 list?
Overwatch.
Just a reminder, here's the top 10. Here we go, Jones.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Number 10 was Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots from E3
right,
2016.
heard this.
Number 9, World of Warcraft game intro.
Okay.
Number 8, BioShock Infinite debut trailer.
Ooh, yeah, that one might slide.
Number 7, Assassin's Creed E3 2006 trailer.
Very first one, yeah, goodie.
Number 6, God of War 3 epic scale trailer.
That
Do you
was
remember
fun.
all these Jones?
gameplay? Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, that was one where he ran and then it was on the giant at the end. You're like, whoa! Everything kept sliding off. You're like, what the hell's happening?
That follows one
It's
of my
all
favorite.
in engine, like
Yeah,
Oh, it was really good.
the escalation of how to do
Yeah.
a trailer. Yeah, I really actually.
all one shot, like
Dead Island.
Oh, yeah.
GDC 11
Yep.
cinematic trailer.
classic.
Number 5.
It's a moment in history.
Well, I mean, okay, we'll do more. We can. That's not
Infinite's
gonna
the one that I think.
Dead Island's gonna make your top 10
Oh, dude, that was epic, man.
Oh my god! All right, we got.
They didn't even have a game. No one knew what the hell that game was. And
We
it was
got
like,
a
now I have to have it.
Star Wars: The Old Republic's number 4, the E3 2009 Jedi vs. Sith trailer. Do you
yeah,
remember
dude.
that trailer?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
yeah, baby.
How could you forget it? Number 3,
pretty hype.
Assassin's Creed 2 E3 2009 trailer. Number 2, The Last Guardian E3 2009 trailer.
Which might slip.
That's probably going by that.
Especially since I always had a gripe against that because they used Miller's Crossing. They're like, oh, let's grab a track that's not going to be in this game.
And it was so funny. It's 2011 when the list was made, and we're still so hopeful for The Last Guardian coming out soon. I do feel like the hype's a little bit
Most
there.
anticipated games always.
I would consider the spoilers. Do you go underwater in The Last Guardian?
If you don't, yes, you do.
Okay, because it's in that trailer. That's
Yes.
what I'm just confirm something that people
Yeah.
saw in a trailer in 2011. So it's
Yeah.
not a spoiler.
We actually have a question about spoilers, and it's just
Okay.
like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say that one's not a spoiler. I'm gonna go ahead and say
Because that was one of the big curiosities of mine. Seeing that trailer for the first time was like,
Yeah.
whoa! He was like hanging on a tree and
you
swimming.
can absolutely go underwater.
Cool.
Number 1, Jones, do you remember it?
With BioShock, baby, best trailer ever.
I
Ever.
disagree with this so much.
Oh, man.
I
Should've been in those
disagree with
meetings.
this so much.
It has absolutely everything a good trailer has.
Except it's CG in first person.
BioShock's in first person. Why would it not be in first person?
It's okay for a first person game to be in first person with gameplay, but the moment you make it CG in first person, I get heated.
Okay, but it doesn't mean it's an automatic fail. It doesn't
Yes.
mean like. So if you played, well, hold on, you have an edge against BioShock. So there's that. I mean, it's
True,
full
true,
disclosure.
Let it be said.
I just don't think you see that. I don't think you watch that trailer for BioShock and then play the game BioShock and go, wait, what? What? This is not the trailer I saw. That is exactly what that game is. It's the abilities, that's the voice. It's the same actor. Years before that game came out, here comes the actor that was actually going to play Andrew Ryan. When the hell does that happen?
So we'll get to
the first review we ever did that Huber played with the actors, the TV show. The
Quantum?
Xbox One. Quantum didn't even have the actor right for like a year. They just like threw in another actor, and we're like, no one's gonna notice. I was like, what the hell happened to the old guy?
You can't knock the trailer for that. Here's the thing. Here's my feeling about CG trailers, John. You can do CG. CG trailers can be great. They have to accomplish something that gameplay couldn't have. That trailer that you love so much, this BioShock CG trailer, absolutely could have been gameplay,
Nope.
but it wouldn't have looked as good, so
Nope.
they made it in CG.
It's all one continuous shot.
You could do
All
that
of
in
those
games.
things.
You could do that in games.
But that would be disingenuous.
it's more
That would be
disingenuous to-
lying then.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
I'm watching something that there's no way you can do that. I'm watching a scene that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do that in the game.
Sorry, I just realized I forgot to say the person's name. Love and respect, Aurelian. Aurelian. Good luck to pronounce that correctly, Kyle. Thank you for.
I think when you do this,
for
when
some
you do the
forgiveness
sleight
there.
of hand,
Yes.
when I watch a trailer and it's like, I don't, was that CG? I don't know. Like that was like the Killzone, the classic where
Yeah.
you're just like, and afterward they're like,
That's
what?
not getting the
And
top
you
10.
ask the developers like, what was that, CG or Eller? And they're like, well, this is the trailer for the game. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, please just tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I don't think you finished BioShock wondering. It's like so clear it's CG. It's so clear like it's introducing you to this world. And it's not like oh this thing was just going to be in this dumb city and so we had to make it look as good as it possibly can. It's just, oh my god, the first time you see Rapture, like whoa, like what is this? Why does this exist? Who's talking right now? There's just so many awesome like questions that builds up.
Is it still number 1?
It's still my number one. It's the best trailer I've ever seen.
So I think here's what I think. What I thought after reading this question panel. I'm curious where you stand, Brad and Damiani. I think trailers have changed significantly in the last 6 years. I would wipe all 10 of these. I would take them all off. I think if I was actually trying to make the 10 best trailers of all time, a lot of these are antiquated. A lot of them are outdated. I think we've changed. I think trailers have changed.
I mean,
big
there's
time.
a lot that's come out since then, you know.
Yeah. Would have any of these stay locked for you?
I mean, I'd probably ditch every Assassin's Creed trailer on there.
Why?
I don't know. Nothing stands out in my brain, really.
What's funny is they used to be huge, and I think Ubisoft was leading the way with how trailers became. I think they did some really
totally.
great things with their music integration. It's funny to believe that even in 2011, there weren't a lot of huge big budget trailers in a given year. I feel like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
that Star Wars CG one for Knights of the Old Republic was
Huge deal, yeah.
I was like, wow, cool trailer. Yeah, crazy to think that. I think we're less easily impressed by CG trailers now.
Because they're way more common now.
Yes. Yeah. But I think trailers are smarter now. I think they use music better now. I think they use narrative better now and escalate better now. Think about The Last of Us Part 2 debut trailer. Jones, would that be top 10?
Uh
The answer
I
is
don't know.
yes. Yes. It would knock off BioShock easily.
what? What?
Why I don't know? Why do I don't know? Tell me what's better about Metal
Because-
Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots E3 2000.
What do you know about Last of Us 2 right now? What do you know?
Okay, I know that we're flashing forward in time. I know that things didn't work out so great after the first game.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm being
Yes.
sarcastic.
Absolutely.
Sarcastic here.
I just have a sense of tone, Jones. I have a sense of...
It's very similar to the first game. What's different in tone in Last of Us 2 versus Last of Us 1? This game looks amazing. I'm just being a pessimist here. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
tattoo sleeves, bruh.
That's it?
No,
Guitar playing?
I guess you could say it's not a huge shift in tone. Absolutely. I get a sense of it wasn't a violent trailer the way that The Last of Us was represented. When that first debuted, we saw just, we have to kill these clickers and things. It was an action. It was just more action in that. More action and suspense. Here the suspense is, oh my god, what's happening? Because remember, we see the outside, we see the firefly symbol, we see that this is a firefly base that's grown over. Fireflies didn't exist until this post-apocalypse, so it's weird to see a base being grown over.
Post, yeah.
Post. So yeah, I guess I get a sense of melancholy. I guess a sense of dread. I don't get that action sense, Jones. I get a sadness from it.
Sure. But like that beats taking a syringe and jabbing it into your hand and having fucking bees come out and then throwing the
Yes, it
bees
does.
at a giant
Yes, it does.
submariner with a drill on his hand.
Yes.
Who's taking care of a little girl. You look at that scene and you're like, I got this. I got that. I understand this whole game. There's nothing unique to this about me. The little girl, yawn. Little girls and shooters, been there a billion times with them hiding in holes in this underwater metropolis. It's every frame of that trailer is what? Huh? What? Whereas like Last of Us was like, is Ellie in it? Yes. Is Joel in it? Yes. Is it coming out soon? Great. The announcement was great. The fact that they showed up with the trailer, that's where that emotion came from. Oh my God. Am I looking at what I'm looking at?
Uh-huh.
Whereas like 10 years from now, you're going to look back at that Last of Us trailer and be like, whoa, dude.
Yes, I would say that trailer. Its use of music, its use of pacing, I think is
It's
very
great.
good.
It's a great trailer. I'm not saying it's
Yes.
a bad trailer. It's
Yes.
just, one of the 10 best of all time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Especially what trailer was introduced as they're working on this. They haven't. It's not. It's not right there yet.
You can't just say that makes a trailer less good. Again, that's outside context, like changing the voice actors. Like you can't be mad at poor Quantum Break.
I'm not mad at it. I just thought that was interesting that they brought that up beforehand. They're like, this is something they basically just put together to announce it. This was not like just. I don't know.
Some announced
That's
trailers
me.
are good. Damiani, what goes in the top 10 and what gets
So-
booted? Oh, here we go.
I'm not gonna give you all of them.
I just
give
like a
some.
so like that.
I
It
feel
means-
like we, due to the outcry of an omission in the top 10, it didn't quite make it into the top 10, and we picked a different trailer actually for this game than the one everyone was saying we should have picked. I think the legendary E3 Metal Gear Solid 2 trailer, Kojima's like magnum opus,
Sure.
where he set the tone for like ridiculous long trailers. That should probably be in there because
Why? That's not a good trailer though.
for the time it was holy crap.
This is not for the time.
I'm sorry. When you give me top 10 of anything, when you're saying like of all time,
Yes.
I judge it by when it came out. Like mostly, it was a good when it came out. What's its impact? Because newer things always would have the advantage. Then it might as well be top 10 most trailers of 2017.
But that's the point I'm trying to make is I think trailers have gotten better. We've obviously
They could
gotten
have,
better
but
than
like
that Metal Gear Solid 2 trailer.
when you're judging the broad scope of it, that's how I account for stuff. Otherwise, everything would just be the newest stuff. I don't know. I like that. I have a far deeper appreciation for historical value and what it did at the time. Like just trying to, if you were there, you had that frame of reference. I think trying to present that frame of reference to newer generations is extremely important. When you make lists like this, when you have that insight, I don't think you should just give it to how is it aged and stuff. You could talk about that, but I feel just excluding it because it hasn't aged well, ignoring what it did at the time is a disservice. Otherwise, you get these really specific list of top 10 trailers that were amazing for their times but haven't aged well. Like you start having to add on those modifiers.
You
I
don't have
hate
to add
that.
on those modifiers that they don't get it on the list. Just boot them.
I think
Anyway.
I think a major cutoff too. If at Easy Allies we were to do any kind of trailer feature, if
Yeah.
the game has not come out, disqualified.
Why?
Because you're not telling me the fact that, okay, you are excited for Last of Us 2 because it has not come out yet and you're pumped for that game. You don't like the Assassin's Creed trailers because you're tired of that franchise. You're biased. You're bringing your emotions into it. All Brad said about Assassin's Creed was, I hate all those trailers, I hate the franchise. You know, it's like, that's not the analysis, that's not the perspective to take when you're going back and looking at art.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't like that franchise. Like, well, yeah, okay.
Just like we said, Last Guardian's number 2, best trailer of all time. I think it's getting a little hype bump.
I think so too.
List.
I agree. I think that happened at the time.
I get what you're
and I
saying.
think you're a little desensitized of those 10 trailers. Looking back at a God of War, you're like, I'm just kind of over it because it's been however many years because we've gotten, you know, we're on to a whole new God of War now.
I think that God of War trailer is actually pretty good. I think that's a very, very good trailer.
You asked about newer ones.
Yeah.
But also the same point, the game's not out yet, so it might, interesting. The Death Stranding trailer, either the original reveal or the most recent one, which is also ridiculous.
I'd go with the original reveal.
Yeah, the original one.
Oh yeah, it's better than the other one. Drags.
Yeah.
In
a good way, but
and again, that's Kojima. It's like, wow, I'm trying to think like the Phantom Pain reveal trailer. It wasn't called Metal Gear Solid. It was just called The Phantom Pain. I was like, what is going on in this game?
That's a very, very good trailer.
And then hiding a secret like that in your trailer.
I think Ground Zeroes actually has a really good trailer too.
Those should be up for consideration. I feel like, the work since then's been pretty good. I don't know how you feel. I've never thought Zelda games have had really good trailers ever.
I think Twilight Princess had a really good one.
I was surprised that didn't make top 10 actually.
That was... I think it wasn't a good trailer. There was like hype factors. The announcement that it existed. Whereas like Final Fantasy Remake, which trailer actually has a little bit more substance
Top
to
10,
it.
baby.
It's actually
Final Fantasy Remake,
the sole purpose is to hype you up, but it's way better edited than like we're talking about the E3 2004 Twilight Princess. When was it called Twilight Princess?
The year after.
Oh, the GDC one with the wolf at the end. Those weren't that well edited though.
The one where Link ends with
that one.
That's the first one.
Seeing him riding across the fields, trying to get a look at him.
Those were like there was the one where it ends with them like riding at each other on the bridge.
I think
that one.
That's the later one, the second one.
With the boss, when it goes into the Conan music, the boss is like, fire.
I hate the Conan one. I really don't like that one.
I mean, it was.
I love this.
It had a history though. It was Conan out of nowhere, but Conan actually had a history with Zelda in a weird way.
That one was better, yes, but I feel Zelda trailers aren't realistically the best overall.
You can look at it again.
I was going to ask you about the Breath of the Wild one, the last one, the January the January presentation one. Remember, it had like this voice work finally, like they spoke in it.
You go, here it comes.
All that.
That's a good trailer. I don't know if it'd get top 10,
but I don't think. I can't think of a good Zelda trailer. Was and the Final Fantasy 15. What about the original short trailer they made specifically for 15 that wasn't indicative of the game? Remember, they had that studio that does the Assassin's Creed trailers.
Fantasy based on reality.
Yeah, where it like he's like driving along, he wipes out.
Yeah,
that was kind of interesting.
I don't like that trailer.
I don't know. That got me a little excited about the story. Then it was nothing like. I was like, shit, that's not great. I'm trying to think of other ones. What are some other big important ones?
Me personally,
all right.
Bloodborne Old Hunters trailer. It was an incredible trailer to me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite trailers of all time.
Souls has good trailers.
Gets me extremely hyped for that game. Tells a story with it, shows a little and not too much, and gives you a great idea what the game is.
Top 10 though, Brad? Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Jones, the argument I would make.
It's all subjective.
I think that trailer is more elegant than some of the trailers that made this top 10 in 2011.
Sure.
I do. I think the DLC trailer for a game is better than BioShock Infinite's debut.
But Overwatch is better than that. Overwatch, I think Overwatch is my favorite
Jones,
trailer.
you said
of the
Overwatch
last.
immediately. You're right. We didn't even talk about it. That's
that was like everyone else making a trailer saw that and was like, "That's the point now."
Yeah.
Like, damn,
Blizzard, man.
I mean, if we had more money than God, we could do that. It's like, they spent the money on it. They knew, like,
and it's honestly not that easy. Yeah, it's not just money. That's a very good trailer.
That was a huge deal to announce for that company to announce a new franchise. Like, there was a lot weighing on that.
Yeah,
and they just knocked it out of the park.
The Realm Reborn trailer, which is the intro to the game.
Yeah.
The Bahamut attacking.
We lit
CG
World of
sequences.
Warcraft intro onto this list, so why not?
I mean, but it was used as a trailer first, then presented as the actual. I won't get to it. It was used as something else for it, but it counts and under our rules.
Do they use it in Overwatch? Do they use that reveal trailer, or was that explicitly?
That was just that's not a game intro. That is.
Yeah.
That was the advertisement.
Maybe
That's sick.
when you boot up the first time, maybe.
Jones,
I
can
don't
we
know.
give that to number one? Can we?
Overwatch?
Can we boot Bioshock?
Oh, sure, yeah. I think that trailer is better than BioShock.
Okay.
But it's CG, and the game's not CG.
Because the thing is not first person, Jones. Imagine.
But the game's first person. It's disingenuous, Kyle.
Imagine.
I
an
finished that
Overwatch
video and I asked,
first-person
does the
trailer.
game play that way? Am I little kids walking around a museum? Is that this video game?
Because it's not
Like-
first person, Jones. Imagine a first person Overwatch trailer where you're using your ults and you're like shooting people in first person in incredible CG. That's
What was the Cyberpunk trailer? The teaser one. Remember the
Or the bullet
yeah.
bounces off her
Yeah.
cheek.
There's only been one. Yeah,
Yeah, that one. It
How long
sticks
ago
out.
was that?
A while.
That's kind of cool.
Been
That's a cool
few
reveal.
years.
3 years now, maybe
Oh,
4.
more than 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, yeah, that was.
But it was after
that
our
might
list
be
came
5.
out.
That might be 5 years.
yeah.
Oh, I just remember that.
Right. It was before Witcher.
Still
3 was
excited for
out,
that
yeah.
game. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not
See
too
Project?
high.
Hell yeah.
I acknowledge Witcher's a great game. The series, sorry.
Ooh,
series.
Witcher 3's got some good
And I
trailers.
was just gonna ask you about Witcher 3.
Yeah, the barn, that barn fight.
Ooh, the vampire one?
Yeah.
I would pick
Well,
Killing
she's like
Monsters.
a ghast or something. Or, that's it. Yeah, the one where she's singing in the beginning and then.
Oh,
that's
Oh,
that
you mean
trailer,
the
yeah.
by the
That was cool.
tree?
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both of those trailers so good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Jones, trailers are
Yeah,
good now.
you're right.
Trailers are good now.
Yeah.
A lot more
I
competition.
just a lot of this
Yeah.
thing, the reason why Overwatch hits so much for me is it was the first. That video started playing and no one had any idea what was going to happen. So that's why BioShock it's the complete introduction. In a minute and 45 seconds, this thing exists now.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, whereas like a trailer for a sequel where I'm just,
I had no idea what the hell.
Ellie's
Overwatch
playing
was
guitar. Oh my
when it came
god!
out.
It's
When
like
they showed the trailer,
I
like,
get
what
the
is this,
emotion,
MOBA?
but
Is this an MMO?
So Jones, I mean, Last of Us Part 2 needs a trailer, man.
of course it does.
Yeah,
But every trailer doesn't have to be the best trailer ever made. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a bad trailer. I'm saying it's not one of the 10 best trailers ever.
I don't
made.
like that the top 10 can only be reveal trailers.
I'm not saying that. I'm comparing and
I
contrasting.
just put all hunters on.
What about
Just keep throwing examples
Yeah.
out, and we can find a good gameplay trailer to
though.
put in there.
What's up?
the Uncharted 4 trailers?
Yeah, gameplay trailers are hard. And I think Uncharted 4 would maybe count, right?
Might
Yeah, none of those specifically stood out.
Yeah, Damiani, I don't know if I would let an Uncharted 4 trailer.
So,
They killed it with their gameplay demos by the time they were
Yeah,
doing
Yeah.
those.
demos.
Yeah.
Those were the
well,
big
that's
deal.
another
Right.
thing that's been. We've been talking a lot about trailers, but have you noticed over the last few years at these events, these reveals, more and more it's just gameplay.
Yeah.
So here, we're just gonna show you gameplay. Forget this trailer. Trailer might be released later,
Right.
as a thing, but gameplay. We want gameplay demos. We want
So-
you to see more of the actual game.
Yeah. What about it?
No, have you noticed that? Like, I feel like that's also another thing is maybe there's some backlash for all those CG trailers for all those the surge in them. And I was like, man, I get just getting tired of these. They're cool, but
I'd say
I don't want to
the
see this.
backlash peaked with No Man's Sky.
Really,
Yes,
the
of,
recent.
Hey, don't show that stuff in trailer. And No Man's Sky has a great reveal trailer, by the way.
Oh
And-
yes.
and
Well,
I
it's
think-
the score to that game was
Oh,
so
geez.
killer.
And yeah, and I think the reason that game would not get top 10 is Jones's rule about that game's got to be out. I don't think we would get No Man's Sky in top 10 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
Damiani-
think that's concept over edit. I think we're in love with the idea, the concept,
no,
but it's
and
like
so good, Jones. The way that they carefully give you more information as you move forward.
when that first reveal when he gets in the
Yes.
ship and then he takes off. and-
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a really good trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'd make top 10 because of the bitter feelings afterward, which is, I think, why people want.
Well, because
gameplay,
you know
like Damiani just said.
you have the proof. You see what they were up to.
Yeah.
You look back at that first Assassin's Creed trailer and there's a lot going on there. That the first time I was like, why is it glitchy? Why is it glitchy? And later it's like, how cool. That they didn't right off the bat be like, okay, you go in the past and you do all that. They're like, no, we'll get the world set up, but we'll throw in a little sprinkle some questions in there.
What's up?
The Watch Dogs reveal trailer.
Was it like a
Everyone-
That was
demo?
gameplay. That was gameplay.
demo?
You sure?
Yes.
What was
Oh,
the
that
one-
was a demo, for
What
sure.
was the one where they revealed it was like this elaborate trailer or whatever?
was
What's that? Because everyone got super interested and all of a sudden. There was
Division. It was the Division.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Everyone's like, why don't we know what this is? But holy crap, this trailer! Like,
Dang, even the Division had some really good trailers.
Dude, I got shot down for when we were picking our best trailers from the year for that one. That's you're going around the apartment and time's
Yes.
passing really
We
quickly.
don't even
and
have that one, huh? I like that trailer, Jones.
I got at the time. People loved it at the time, but then later, that was my favorite trailer from that E3, and it did not win.
any of the new Tomb Raiders have good trailers? I'm trying to remember.
So I actually,
The teaser for Rise of the Tomb Raider was awful.
we disagree on this. I really like that trailer.
Her and the psychiatrist.
Yes.
But she's like talking to him months later.
Yeah. Consequences.
She like walks into a cave and like responds to a thing he said like presumably 2 months earlier.
Well, they dropped it for you, Jones. They dropped that whole narrative. It wasn't part of the game anyway.
Good. And CG.
And CG.
Deus Ex? Any of the Deus Ex trailers?
For hours. This is so great.
Jones, do you like the Deus Ex trailer? I forget.
Oh no, I hate no.
You hate those?
Where it shows you a giant city and then tells me it's in the future, and then shows me crazy cybernetics, and then tells me technology has advanced.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here, really? Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Jones, you know it's
But I
funny.
want to love it. Like that's why that trailer irks me, is because it's like the movie Speed. It's so close to one of the best action movies ever, and that trailer's if you just tweak this and that, yes, you made it.
Jones, you know how at the end of podcasts I'll say frequently, you just tell us. If you want to see something, just tell us. And then a lot of people on Twitter are like, why don't you do a trailer score anymore? That's a stretch goal.
It's a tier.
That's a stretch
go,
goal
go
on
get
Patreon.
It. Go make it happen.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll talk trailers. Jones is ready.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got a little trailer talking this week. Okay, we got one more. It's a 1 hour long podcast. We do them short for love and respect. This is an interesting one. I don't even know how to handle this one.
Oh boy.
Just one more
Oh,
question
boy.
for the whole thing.
Yeah.
You sure?
Why? What's up? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's still it's a special, but there's still rules we gotta abide by.
I'm just saying. I mean, that stuff kind of creeps on it, so I never know.
It
I never,
sounds
I
like
never
it's
know.
podcast halftime.
Oh! It's happening.
Thank you,
I've
Jones.
been real loud the
You
last
saved
couple
us.
episodes.
Oh, you wanna go
I've been
soft?
peeking. I'm gonna go soft on this one, okay? We're gonna get really intimate, everybody. Hi. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of March. Michael Kozachenko, who you can find at Misha Koz. Mango. iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today, and they can help save you up to 75% off of the dealership's prices. If you type in offer code EZA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. At Hogue Law, they're not just attorneys, they're entrepreneurs with more than a decade of experience representing software, hardware, and game developers, and we're developers themselves. They're proud to support the Allies, so check them out at www.hoeglaw.com. Steve Lichman. Life's tough when you're a lich, and Steve's is no different. Join Steven and his monster friends for their everyday lives down in the dungeon, battling handsome heroes, muscular magicians, and deep depression. Books 1 and 2 are available for pre-order for a limited time only. Check out the 90-page preview free at stevelichman.com. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. All these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you.
I was peeking last couple episodes. We're trying some audio things out.
Yeah.
Apologies for wonky levels and whatnot.
But don't be afraid to tell us.
Oh, please, yeah.
Let us know when we have audio issues. Let us know. Please do.
Yeah.
Just don't pin out any one individual ally.
Yeah, and don't say mean things.
Don't
No
get
death threats.
personal.
No audio death threats, please.
Yeah. But please tell Easy Allies your audio is bad. You should feel bad. I accept it.
Okay.
If it's
All right.
directed toward the group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can handle that. Okay. Our final question comes from Dylan Wiggin. Hi, Allies. Congrats on hitting 1 year in operation.
Oh, thank you.
My question to the panel is, if you could go back to the hour before your Patreon launch last year, what EZA-related lessons of information would you pass on? Or information would you pass on? But, twist! You cannot talk or give info to your past self, so I'm asking which ally would you talk to, and what would you tell that person? And remember, it has to be EZA-related, no sports almanacs.
Oh, I get. Yeah, okay. Nice reference. I mean, mine, I would talk to Daniel Bloodworth and I would tell him Cup of Jones is not going to be weekly right away.
Well, what's Blood gonna do?
Just know that.
I'm offended you picked
Just be
Blood.
prepped.
I'm offended you picked Blood.
You're offended?
Yes. When my chopped liver,
What would it?
Blood does review stuff. What is he gonna do about Cup of Jones?
He's our managing editor.
That's-
We're both
That doesn't
he's a
matter.
managing director. We're both of the directors of.
I'm offended,
Yeah.
Jones.
Oh, all right.
What is my title?
You're a producer.
You're a producer.
You're a producer and a moderator. You're
All
a
right.
self-proclaimed moderator.
Okay.
Jones, I would just tell you to get more sleep.
Oh, thanks.
I'd like get lots of sleep, dude.
That's gonna fall on deaf ears.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah, maybe prep him for it.
I would take him aside. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jones, seriously, man, you gotta get some sleep. Get as much as you can.
You just
Yeah.
like give me a Vulcan neck pinch right there. Just like, oh.
Enjoy your free time. You won't have any.
Damiani,
I go back in time and tell you, Kyle, that you're not chopped liver.
thank you.
But
Thank
I
you.
would go further back. Like, you don't chop liver, kid.
And I would go even further back than you, Brad.
So why?
Repeat.
Why are you mad that Brad's not telling you to get sleep? What was the?
Because I get plenty of sleep.
Oh,
actually.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, look at me right now.
He's like, yeah.
I think I'm running on 4. Damiani.
No.
I don't remember correctly. Was it known you were going to come from Texas to LA when the Patreon launched?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it right. The Wind Waker
Make it right,
7.8.
yeah.
But at that time, Damiani's participation was from a distance. It was pretty much
No.
understood.
Oh,
Damiani's
yeah,
known-
he knew he was
known
gonna be
that
an
I was
ally.
move out
Right,
here.
right. Yeah.
No, it was not known
Yeah,
that I was
that's
going
right.
to move out here.
When'd you make that call?
Sometime in March, maybe, or April?
You don't want
I
us
thought it
to.
was pretty quick.
You don't want us to help you with that?
Huh?
You don't want us to help you?
Help me what?
Say, Damiani, dude, move to LA.
I mean, if you want to be brutally honest, like
Yeah.
in retrospect, I maybe should have waited a little bit longer.
Whoa! Why?
Would it help with my?
regrets.
Would it help? I mean, I'm actually it ended up working out okay in the end, but it was like just pure happen chance. Like, it wasn't
Happenstance.
happenstance. Did I say chance? I apologize for bad English here.
No, it's fine. There's no corrections for the special episodes.
I would have planned out my move a little bit more intelligently and been opted to be more patient and taken a more stable route in terms of coming out here than kind of rushing it to be out here in time for E3. I feel like
Why?
I accelerated some things.
What went wrong?
I was going to
Yeah.
allude to my apartment situation when I first moved out here.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a place.
Yes.
So I had to try and pick a place blindly. Didn't work.
Yeah.
So I had to back out of that one. I was luckily able to back out of that one.
Yeah, I've been there.
Had to crash at a place, my old place for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to find a new place, and just I would have done more prep work and more research and that. I was doing it earlier, but then I decided I was gonna just wait later to move out here. So the prices I was looking at, like these aren't what the prices are gonna be when I'm looking at moving. I should stop looking now. Like wait till that 2-month period. Usually out here you gotta look like a month to 2 months.
Yeah.
To start looking for a new place. That's like when the window usually is, and basically a lot of things were in flux. Like it could have gone really badly. I could have had to have been forced to just pick a place, which would have, and with the basically I have to get out of here eventually too, because this is not the optimal choice either.
Here's what I'm curious about, though, Damiani. What was the moment where you said, you know what, I got to get to LA?
No, I knew. And when you guys were starting it up,
Yeah.
I pretty much had decided at that point that at some point in 2016 last year, I'm moving back out to LA.
Oh, okay.
And even before that, though, I was thinking of coming back out at some point in the year too, before I even knew about the Easy Allies project.
I'm pretty sure we talked about it. I just didn't know how much you could
Yeah.
get paid because we didn't know what the Patreon was going to earn.
Yeah,
so.
before any involvement at Easy A, I was like, man, I really want to move back to LA. So I was already trying to figure out ways to do that, but nothing that would have resulted in me being out there in the first half of last year. Like maybe end of last year was best case. And with this, I was like, oh, I'll come out for E3, do the whole E3 thing with everyone, be there, and then maybe a month or two after that, start to transition to moving out here, to be out here for the fall. Was kind of what my better judgment was saying. That's the plan you should probably go with. If you want one of the things go smoothly. So I rolled the die.
Yeah.
Rolled the die, went boom, and went out early. And
I'm glad
it
you
worked
went out
out.
early.
It
I'm
worked
glad you were
out.
here
It
for
worked
E3.
out.
Yeah.
It worked out. So I guess
mad
the lesson
that-
is sometimes you gotta take risks.
Yeah.
You gotta take risks.
Gotta
So
take
I would
risks.
not go back and want anyone to go back and be like, Damiani, you should have changed what you did. Like,
Right.
nah, that's fine. On a serious note, besides trying to give you an ego booster, I would have gone back and maybe tried to convince Dawn to do some shows hey, put your stuff as people will love this stuff, pitch them as tiers and stuff, or as a goal.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
not easy to do that, though.
It's not, but
Yeah.
just just push a little bit harder, maybe.
Sure.
And some more like cheerleading, like you can Don, like it's gonna work out, man. Like people are gonna like your stuff.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, I would have been like, Don, do it, Don.
Yeah, 'cause
make it
that's-
happen.
That's really what the question is. It's what have you learned over the past year? What do you regret over the last year? What did you waste money on? What was smart? That's kind of the question, you know? And that's what I have a hard time, is I don't know if any of the mistakes we made I would want to not make again.
Like E3 2017 is going to be
Yeah.
better coverage than E3 2016, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't change a thing about 2016. That was
Right.
great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's always like the hardest thing, because when you change that stuff, you wouldn't learn the lessons then.
Exactly.
You might make that
Yeah.
mistake in a different way down the road.
I really
so-
don't like doing time travel stuff.
Yeah, I know, and this is all theoretical, so it's like,
Yeah.
what would we have done? But it's not happening. It's cool.
I'm going back to Damiani's time.
Oh dear.
I'm going back to Damiani. I'm saying, Damiani, Last Guardian is never getting delayed. Do not double down on that bet. Do not double down on that bet with Bossman. Don't do it.
Okay, Kyle.
That's what I would do.
The bets you could
Yes.
win if you went
Yes.
back a year in
Kyle's
time.
trying to be
I know-
back to the future.
I know we
here.
have no sports
almanac
I know.
right here. Sports
That was the
almanac, Bossman.
But it said it has to be EZA related, and so it is. It's still EZA.
Yeah, it's a history of easy
funny.
A bets, and he's like,
dude, don't double down on that bet. Because the thing is, you can't talk to yourself. So I think I just have to give Damiani
That's
bad
right.
info.
I would have gone back as well after talking with Brad and talking with Don. I would go back one more time and talk with you.
Yeah.
I just whisper in your ear, Kyle, like this. I was get up close and go, Captain Toe, it's not a platformer.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I simply have
Like
to
while
agree.
he's sleeping.
Yeah. That's been our Love and Respect episode. That's very fun. Let me explain everybody about how Love and Respect works on the podcast, because I don't really do that frequently enough. That is a thing where people who are $5 patrons of patreon.com/easyallies, $5 and up, they submit Love and Respect comments, suggestions, games to us weekly. And so I make a post on the Patreon, and only the people who pay $5 and more a month can see those. And also, those people get the podcast 2 days earlier. They get it on Wednesdays as opposed to Fridays. And so, yeah, that's how that works. That's where Love and Respect comes from. If you want to submit, that would be how to do it. Jones, anything else?
Yeah, we are doing a special episode because we are a year old this week.
Sure, yes.
So yay! So that happened. Thank you so much for everyone that's just watching on YouTube. That is incredible. Thank you for those the viewership numbers. We appreciate that. Would love if you would subscribe to us on Twitch or YouTube. But specifically, most of our funding comes through Patreon, which you so eloquently introduced. So if you like what you see, head on over there and support us.
Cool.
We would appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're beginning year 2,
Oh, my goodness.
and you got to kick it up a notch. Bam.
sophomore year,
The
baby.
sequel.
You know what's crazy,
Chamber
though?
of Secrets.
Yep.
Damiani from a year from now came back to talk to me about year 2.
Oh my God.
Here we
Yeah.
go. I knew he was gonna do some shit like this.
Stupid. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it. We do need to sign off. We need to do a sign off. So let's all take one of the 4 responsibilities. One of us will get a Twitter handle. One of us will get final word. One of us will get to promote any video we like to choose on Easy Allies. And one of us gets to sign off with a trademark sign off.
I'll do the video promotion.
Oh, okay. Brad, you want dibs on something?
No, I'm cool with anything.
All right, you get Twitter handle. Damiani,
All
what
right.
do you want? Final word or sign off?
Final word.
Ooh, nice. Okay, and I'll take sign off.
You got one Boston sign off.
Okay. So, Brad, go ahead.
Oh, cool.
Give us your
You
Twitter
can follow me
handle.
on Twitter at BradleyEllis87.
What kind of critique, what kind of fun stuff am I going to expect on your Twitter?
Lots of Japanese stuff.
Do you do jokes?
No, I'm not really into jokes. No, not really.
Yeah,
Just posting cool stuff, cool photos.
That's great. Yeah, thank you. Jones,
Yes.
what's a video you want to promote?
I recommend you watch our uploaded video, which will be up soon, of, according to Ian Hank, he's going to get it done quick.
This weekend.
Of our 1-year anniversary show entitled
Nice.
Easy Allies in
Nice.
Concert.
If it is
if it is
Monday
not
the
up yet,
28th,
it will be up very, very soon.
contact Ian. Say, where's that video?
Yeah, you bug Ian Hank on Twitter. Hi, Hank.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He promised.
Okay, where is it?
He's just, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
I think Kind of Funny Live 2 didn't go up until like 5 months after the event, so like,
Yeah.
We got it.
But we definitely want to get that to our fans as soon as possible. So
So actually, we should say, don't contact Ian. Contact at Easy Allies.
Yes.
And say, Easy Allies, you suck.
right,
Yeah.
because we
But
just
we'll make
That's the
otherwise
lesson
we
we've learned. That's the
Ian
lesson we've
read it,
learned.
though.
otherwise we'd be hypocrites.
And we'll
yeah.
go back in time and fix it.
Yep.
Correction, Damiani.
Oh no, final word.
Final
Word. Sorry.
Final
Oh,
word.
I thought you could correct my time travel.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what happened here? Actually,
You didn't consider the crystals,
Jean-Claude
did you?
Van Damme came back to arrest you.
Yeah.
Final word. Just go with the last thing on the Mass Effect, but in general, I'm gonna go broader here.
Okay.
Just for good vibe stuff here. Everyone has differing opinions and stuff, and I know everyone is really passionate about gaming, but I hope you look at our mantra here at EZA, and when you're trying to have debates and discussions with people and you don't agree, just show love and respect to each other, and just be a little bit more civil about how you go and voice your stuff. Just show respect to one another, please. That would go a long way in improving things, not just for you, but for everyone as well around you.
And now for my trademark sign-off. Tomorrow is forever our. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done. It's all ours. Tomorrow. It's been a while since I've.
Yeah, I was like,
Been able
You had one job,
right?
boss man. We all had one job.
You're one of them.
And you messed it up. I'm gonna go back in time, Kyle.
Tomorrow is forever all ours.
there we go.
I am enjoying these microtransactions.